Hey guys, hope you're having an absolutely incredible day. My name is Will, and Chelsea has very kindly asked me to give a little presentation for you guys just to help you stay on track over the month of December. As we know, this is silly season, and people tend to go off track quite a bit more in this time of the year, and sometimes they end up even ruining all the progress that they've had throughout the whole year in this month, and then they are right back to square one again, then saying, fuck, right, here we go. New year, new me, and all this bollocks. So this is going to help you stay on track then over the Christmas period. And apologies if you cannot make me out. My accent is I'm from Belfast in Ireland, so apologies if you can't make me out, but hopefully you get the gist of it. So let's get stuck in then. So this is 8 ways to stay on track in December without having to give up booze over the Christmas period. And this is a time that we want to go and enjoy ourselves, and having a bit of booze is never it's not a bad thing, and we should never restrict ourselves of the things that we want to do. Just like my Santa Claus here, he's enjoying a lovely glass of red wine. So I don't see why we can't do the same. So here goes. So what usually happens over Christmas then? Well, as I just briefly explained, more food tends to be eaten, more sweets, more snacks, and in general, just more food in general. And also, as I've said there as well, more booze is consumed. Like there's more parties, there's more social events, there's more family events. And what happens with all of these things, then there tends to be a bit more booze consumed as well. And also, like this is a time of year when people start to wind down towards the end of the year. They worked hard all year, and then they get a couple of weeks off for Christmas, or if you're a teacher, you get the whole month off, and people tend to wind down, chill out, and then that means that less activity is then done. And which usually results then in weight gain. Usually results then in weight gain from a combination of all these three things. So instead, what you can do then to counteract this weight gain is to try these things that I'm going to say now. So the first one then is to track your food and drinks that you consume. It doesn't even have to be booze, like it could be soft drinks as well. So getting an idea of what food and drink you are consuming will help you to stay more mindful. And, if you are sticking to a certain amount of calories, then it'll help you to stay on track with hitting those calorie goals. And, what you can do is if you've got a social event coming up on the Saturday, and you're on, for example, 2,000 calories, you could essentially bank 200 calories through the week, Monday to Friday, and have an extra 1,000 calories left over then to then enjoy that on the Saturday. So being able to track and measure your food intake is essential to staying on track. And what gets measured gets managed. So if you're not losing weight but you're eating a certain amount of calories, then you can look to adjust those calories, and that is another reason why we end up measuring and tracking so much. So the next thing as well, as I just sort of touched on in that first one, is to plan your social events in advance. So if you know that you're going out, say, 3 Saturdays in the month of December, mark it in the calendar. And then, as I've said there, touched on it, you can then, adjust your calories accordingly up until that event, so that you have a bit extra then to spend on that event. So you have an extra 1,000 if you save the 200 calories per day over the week. Or what you can do is increase your step count and increase your activity count, from maybe 10,000 steps daily to maybe 13, 14. And that'll also then help you to burn extra calories through the week. So then you have a bit extra then to spend on that social event. So it means then that you can enjoy it guilt-free. Another thing you can do is to get active in the morning, with a long walk, or get your workout in the morning, because what tends to happen in most evenings, like people, they tend to go to work all day and they end up, feeling more tired, more exhausted after they finish work in the evening time, say, 4 or 5 o'clock. And then, when you're feeling exhausted, feeling tired, motivation is low, and you then end up, 9 times out of 10 skipping a workout or skipping going for a walk. Whereas if you can get up an extra half an hour, an extra hour in the morning and get your walk done or get your workout done, then you'll have burnt a load of calories by starting the day. Before you even start your day, and it's a fantastic start to the day. Getting up and getting active and getting moving is going to help to increase your energy levels, and then it's going to help you to feel more motivated through the day as well. And then you might end up having a bit more extra energy in the evening, and you maybe go for another walk, or you maybe do some sort of other activity, which then means that you're going to burn more calories, and that's going to help you to stay on track then, throughout the week, throughout the weekend, whenever it is that you do your activities. Another thing you can do is to eat more high protein foods. I do see, like, whenever I'm working with most of my clients, like whenever they come on board with me, there's always a lack of protein in most people's diets. And protein is not only important for recovering your body from hard workouts, but it also helps to build your immune system. It also keeps you feeling fuller for longer. So if you can put a good amount of protein in each of your meal, then it's going to help you to snack less, which means then you're going to eat less calories, and it's going to help you to stay on track that bit more. And let's move on to the next one then. So as also with the food aspect as well. So with your meals, if you can try and bulk up most of your meals with a good bit of veg or fruit. I haven't put fruit in here, but bulking your meals up with lower calorie, high volume foods like such as your fruit and veg, then that's going to also help to keep you feeling fuller for longer. So you can consume a lot more of these types of food, a lot more fruit, like in your oats in the morning. You can put a load of blueberries and blackberries and strawberries, or like with the rest of your meals, like for lunch you can have chicken, with a load of salad, and then for dinner you can have like a quarter of a plate of broccoli, lots of carrots, lots of onions. Try and get at least half a plate full of the fruits and vegetables, and that's going to help to bulk up your meals that bit more, and it's going to help to keep you feel fuller for longer. Because at the end of the day, like, you don't want to ever feel hungry, and that's the key to staying being able to lose weight. And that's the key to staying on track, is to try not to feel hungry, because once you feel hungry, then that's whenever you tend to go for the snacks, the higher calorie foods, and then you tend to then maybe overeat on these types of foods and binge eat, and then that is where the weight then gains. So trying to bulk your meals up with veg is a very, very good way to keep you feeling fuller for longer. Another thing you can do, instead of having your breakfast first thing in the morning, you can try and push it back to, say, 10 or 11 o'clock, and bulk that up, have a really big meal at that time, and that will keep you pushing forward then, hopefully until dinner time. Or you could have a big meal at that 11 o'clock, have a little snack, say around 3, and then if you're having your dinner, then if you're going to a social event and having a few drinks as well, that means then that you will have a lot more calories to play with, because you essentially have skipped out a meal. And this is another great way to stay on track and being able to push your calories up a bit more, because at the end of the day, it all does come down to calories. And if you can stay within your calorie targets, then you're going to stay on track. So that's a good way, especially if you have an event coming up on the Saturday evening, then you could push your breakfast forward. And then Sunday as well tends to be this time where this is like a day you probably end up relaxing, and you maybe don't do as much activity. And again, that's a great way to limit your calories, to push your breakfast away to 11 o'clock and, just have two big meals in the day and then maybe a couple of snacks in between just to keep you going. Another thing, so this is the main thing of this, it's you still have your booze while you're out having, in your social events and stuff. So opt for spirits or wine rather than going for the likes of beer and for cocktails, because there's a hell of a lot more calories in beer and a hell of a lot more calories in cocktails compared to your spirits like your gin, your whiskey, your vodka, and also your wine. Glass of red wine is 120 calories. Glass of white wine is also 120 calories. But what you can do is mix that with soda water, the white wine, and you can have a white wine spritzer, and then you're going to save half the calories. Or you can drink double the booze. Completely up to you. But it means then that it's going to help you to stay on track. It's just making small changes and doing these consistently. And then the last one then is something that most people don't really tend to think about. And I always say that your environment dictates your performance. If you're looking to lose weight or stay on track, KFC or McDonald's, like fast food, like going into one of those restaurants, that's not a very good environment for wanting to lose weight. So have your kitchen stacked full of fresh fruit and vegetables, lots of lean meats, and lots of your cupboards full of rice and potatoes and all that sort of stuff. Like lots of healthy foods that are going to help to keep you on track. So around this time of year, Christmas, there tend to be a lot more sweets and biscuits and chocolates floating about. And most people tend to leave them sitting out in plain sight. You go to the office, there's always a bucket of sweets sitting within arm's length, and if you have sweets sitting with arm's length, 9 times out of 10 you're going to eat those sweets. And what happens whenever you have one sweet? You end up having 4, 5, 6, maybe even 10, and this is where the extra calories start to sneak in. But all you have to do to stop that there, it's very simple, as I've said here, is to hide the chocolates and biscuits away. So try putting your chocolates and biscuits and sweets and crisps and snacks away in the highest cupboard, way out of the way. So, they're out of sight, then they're out of mind, rather than leaving them out, sitting on the kitchen counter. You walk past them and you see them and you go, fuck, I would love to have, a bit of chocolate, or I'd love to have a biscuit. And then you end up eating 3 or 4 because they're sitting there. Whereas if you have them up in the cupboard, I'm not saying not to have them, but you go up to the cupboard and say, right, I'll have one. You go and take one out, and then you can't be bothered going back for another one. And, that's going to help just keep you on track as well. So just with the booze then, just to see it visually. So like these are booze swaps that are going to save you a ton of calories over the Christmas period, over the social nights out. So as I've already touched on it, you can have a half wine, half soda, and it's only around 60 calories. Whereas if you go for a strawberry daiquiri cocktail, it's 244 calories. So you can literally have 4, great maths, yeah. 4 of the half wine, half soda for 1 strawberry daiquiri. Then the same goes for your spirits and your beer. With a shot of vodka and Coke Zero, it's only 75 calories. But if you were to have a pint of beer, here you can see it is 255 calories. So, essentially you can have 3 or 4 vodka and Coke Zero for 1 pint of Heineken. So just making these simple swaps could help to save you a ton of calories and help to keep you on track over the Christmas period. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and have an absolutely fantastic day and enjoy your Christmas period guilt-free.